last time you guys saw, we basically went over what happened with the block. I know a lot of the comments were saying that these motors are really not meant for the power that it was at, but what we're comparing is this older block, which is like a B7. This is a CA. The biggest difference is obviously the bearing caps are just 4 millimeters and larger in diameter, but the actual piston is the same. You know, same diameter piston. Everything looks about the same. But today what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna finish assembling the new motor, and we're gonna put back our action clutch, and we're gonna end up putting the transmission on, all the accessories, and then basically make this a running motor again. And then we're gonna be ready to just go back and throw it into the Integra over there. We have a couple other projects that we're doing right now. We're finishing up some customer builds over here. And yeah, hopefully we can get this Integra back on the road as soon as possible. Let's get started, and we'll start disassembling the trans, start transferring some of the clutch kit, and start doing the timing, and you know, we'll get all into it and how our engine process works. But basically this is how we start off, you know. New block, new head. I know some of the guys in the comments were asking about the way that exhaust is distributed in this car. So this is called like I believe they call it like a mono port, which is obviously means two port exhaust, and that feeds into a new style turbo compared to the Civic Si. This head would be equivalent maybe to the 1.5 liter Accord, which also uses the same style mono exhaust, you know, so it has a little bit different style, but this definitely helps with like just distribution of exhaust. And but it is slightly different design comparing it to like just like a last generation. This is where the VTEC actually is. So the VTEC solenoid is now mounted up front compared to the SI from the 10th gen. It didn't have VTEC, so that is a difference here. But as you can see, even the lobes on the exhaust side all have the VTEC cam, but the intake side does not have VTEC, unfortunately, which I know a lot of people miss from like the 8th gen Civic. Yeah, so this head is all ready to go. We've already mounted it up. Yeah, let's start the process. Let's get all these accessories on. Alright, so I've removed all the bolts on the transmission case. Now I'm going to remove the trans. Alright, cool, so the transmission's off. Now they remove the clutch, transfer the clutch to the new block, and as you can see, we're running the action clutch, aftermarket flywheel and clutch kit for this car. We gotta transfer over the starter, the alternator, transfer over this bracket here for the turbo, and we can start assembly on this side. Transmission was a little bit of a hassle to come off. It might have been like the oil and stuff that got in here.
Okay, I'm gonna assemble pretty much the whole outer engine. I'm not doing the flywheel or clutch assembly yet, or the timing for the motor. I'm gonna assemble the whole outside, water pump, turbo, intake manifold, pretty much everything but the clutch, transmission, and timing. Yeah, that's right.
There you go. There's some of the antifreeze.
Did you come up? I jinxed myself on that.
Current update. Water pump's in, torqued. All the 12s are torqued. Turbo is in, torqued. This side of the water pump, torqued down. And we have the intake manifold, also torqued down as well. I'm sure in the first clip, it was recording, so we have the starter in and torqued down. Knock sensor right here, in and torqued down. Alternator torqued. We do also have our crank position sensor, which is torqued. Injectors, torqued down. So just moving along. Plenty of other parts that need to be installed still. So currently gonna put on the cam shaft cover. This piece here. All right, so another spot check. Intake manifold, cam cover. The other secondary cam cover is on and torqued. DI pump is tightened and torqued. Same thing with the feed line here, the nut. Pretty much turbo is completed. The drain's already on. Pretty much other than that, it's just timing, clutch, the actual inlet, and the valve cover itself.
The next morning.
Next day, if you guys are seeing the last clips, we left this for today. And as you can see, he got a lot of things done. He got the intake manifold on, the injectors on, most of the accessories, the turbo, but I don't know if it's actually a twin screw, because someone mentioned it in the comments. They were like, "Oh, it's a twin screw." Okay, well, I'll be right back. We're gonna go pay some bills. We're back from the Snap-on truck, from selling or sold. We got the Loctite. We're gonna install the clutch, and then we'll put the transmission back on, and then time it, and then it should be good to go, right? Pretty much. The wiring harness and all the little small stuff, but we'll get that all done and situated. Back on. This is what we're gonna be running probably in our Integra now. So now there's two Integras. And the reason I bought it is so I can tell everybody in those comments how to really build an Integra. I'm gonna build it to track.
Actual track spec.
Yeah, actual track spec. Because after learning on the S2000 how to not to drive, dude, the comments you guys are getting is just so much negativity, man. You know, it kind of sucks, but I get it. It's a new platform. It ain't gonna live up to the B series or K series, but I mean, end of the day, like, they're good cars. You really think about it.
The new Integra drives really well. Like it's probably one of the best handling front-wheel drive cars that I've experienced.
Now that I've been driving them, like, able to drive it like how I want to drive it, I took it on the track. No, I didn't take it on the track. I took it on the freeway onto like like those big overpasses where you like turn and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could.
It feels planted, right?
Yeah, you can take it into a corner. Like, you can dive in. Completely from the stash over there.
So what exactly are you trying to do here? Make sure that the arrows line up with the gold links.
Yeah. So this bad boy here, Integra spec timing chain tensioner. Turbo on. I'm gonna prime this really quick. Alright, so we're done with the timing, and the next part is we're going to put the timing chain cover, and the valve cover, the inlet pipe, and then finally the actual wiring harness. Alright guys, so we're about to put the timing chain cover on now. Just finished putting Honda Bond.
That's a standard
here. And then all around the cover itself. So, be right back. And as you guys can tell, this is not just some random engine. This is actually
Acura L15.
Yep.
From my experience, just rushing through anything like for you guys, it's not rushing. Well, everybody has their own way of doing things.
Alright guys, update. We are done assembling the engine. So all the accessories, the wiring harness, all the PVC, coolant. The only thing we have left is once we remove it off of the stand, we're gonna put back the downpipe because the downpipe interferes with this bracket that we have here. And then we just need to put the motor mount bracket and the actual half shaft for the passenger side axle. But besides that, this is a motor now. Acura Integra spec motor with everything pretty much done. I know Micah's excited. Yeah.
So excited to finally drive the car again.
Yeah. The old block, as you guys remember, all the holes and stuff on that. And pretty much we started like this with the new motor, right? And now full circle, now the old motor is basically stripped down completely. It's been a good 3-part series, right? We will hopefully have this already in, and then Michael will be breaking in the motor. But we're finally done. Took us about, I think, 3 working days.
About that, yeah.
About 3 working days. And then the machine shop had it for a couple days. So, but yeah, it's done. This is what you guys are getting in your car, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see what else you have to do, you know?